How would you describe a world without science?
A world without science is like a world without curiosity, progress, or development.
Okay, so how would you think this time about a world without art?
A world without art is like a world without creativity, thinking out of the box, and exploration.
Have you ever had the thought of what if I was an art major? And if you had these thoughts, how did you cope with them?
Well, I actually always have these thoughts because I feel like I'm a frustrated artist where I was just thrust into the science world just because. And so I just cope with it by trying to incorporate even little bits of my artistic side in my major, even if it's in the small and insignificant ways.
Okay, thank you so much, Mira. Okay, so for the next question, do you think art has more of an impact on this world than science?
Actually, for me, science has an impact to the world, but art has an impact to people's hearts. Because art has many forms. It can translate what science can find into a masterpiece to touch people's hearts, inspire others. So I guess both works the same.
Okay, for second to the last question, do you think there are any major differences between being an art major and a science major?
No, I think they're the same. Because sa science, of course, you do experiments. You explore. Ganon din sa art. When it comes to art, you need to explore a lot of techniques. You need to experiment on kind of mediums too. And then like, what works for you best? Because it's like science, eh? You have to test something and then make result. And same as art, you have to test something and then comes a result. Same way.
Ano yung arts para sa'yo?
Para sa akin, yung art or yung sining na meron tayo ngayon, may iba't ibang forma yan. At yung pinakalayunin nito ay expose, di ba? Or ipakita, i-reflect yung actuality na nangyayari sa ating society, di ba? Pinapakita niya yung kabuluhan, pinapakita niya yung kamalian na nangyayari sa ating lipunan. At the same time, may call siya na pinapanawagan sa mga mamamayan para at the end of the day, this art ay nagiging source siya or nagiging avenue siya ng progress. Para sa akin, yung sining at siyensya ay dapat simulat sa pool ay walang divide dito at syempre dapat hand in hand sila sa pag-create ng isang better society, di ba? However, sa kasulukuyan, nakikita natin na may ascendancy talaga or parang mas pagbibigay importansya sa pagpapalago ng field ng sciences. And I think pareho kasing impactful, tama ba yung term? Impactful or malaki yung maaaring iambag ng science and ng arts doon sa pag-create ng isang lipunan na at the end of the day ay magsaserve doon sa interest ng mga mamamayan.
Ang sining para sa akin ay parang parang kalamnan siya ng isang society. Napakaraming mga bagay na hindi natin masabi, hindi natin mamigas. O meron tayong mga gustong ipahayag pero hindi natin kaya gawin. At narin yung sining para i-express yung ating mga saloobin, yung ating mga ating imahinasyon, diba? Kung merong may math and sciences na mas dun sa technical na aspekto, ang sining naman para sa akin ay pagbibigay buhay doon sa imahinasyon ng bawat individual. So unang tingin nakita natin na may malaking pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng mga arts and sciences, no? Sa kung paano nagkakaroon ng mas magagandang building or nagkakaroon ng mas magagandang mga laboratory at mga equipment yung mga estudyante nila doon. Pero kung titingnan natin mabuti, kailangan nating turulin yung binibigyang importansya ng ating administrasyon. Dahil kung meron siyang magbibigay ng importansya doon sa edukasyon, magbibigay ng edukasyon sa kanyang mamamayang Pilipino, regardless kung arts and sciences man yan, ay bibigyan niya ng pondo ng buo.
Art and science are both difficult to deal with. So, walang mas mahirap sa kanilang dalawa. And I think hindi siya dapat kino-compare in terms of difficulty because they are both hard to study. I think the difference of being an art major sa science major and sa art ay imaginative, they're more creative, they use their imagination to produce something, and then maganda yung mga artworks nila. And then sa science, more on ma-technical siya, more accurate, more on sa precision.
So, we'll go to UP Culture and Arts and Sciences. So, do you think being an art major is hard? Or do you think being a science major is harder? Why or why not?
For me, they're both as hard because we can't really say that one course is harder than the other because something hard or the word hard is relative. So again, it doesn't mean for some arts is easy, but then it's an example for me art is hard while science is a bit manageable. So for others naman, arts is very easy while math and sciences is manageable. So it really is just relative.
So, are there any major differences between being an art major or a science major? The way the students act, the way the students think, or the way the students move?
I think there's really a great difference or barrier, but then we can look at it in a manner na they're both parallel. So, for example, as a science major or engineering, we look at problems in a scientific manner. There are steps to follow. In art, on the other hand, you may not have a step, but you need to have a procedure. You have this idea, or you have this line of thinking process that you undergo in order to come up with a certain art, and that is for me kind of parallel in nature. So just like that, on some aspects of art have the same or counterpart or parallel method in arts as well, in science and in arts as well.
So, do you have thoughts on what if I was an art major? How do you cope with those thoughts?
Yes, I had those thoughts. If I was an art major, maybe I would view life in a different manner. Maybe I would view it in a more abstract way. But I guess there will still be that sense of purpose on what I'll be doing or what I am doing.
So para sa akin, ang industrial engineering at ang engineering in general ay mahalaga para sa kabuuang kaunlaran ng ating bansa. Ayun. So mahalaga na gamitin natin yung engineering para magtatag ng mga pambansang industriya na ganap na magbibigay ng trabaho para sa lahat ng mga mamayan. Dapat natin pinapahintulutan ang mga nagiging mabilis sa loob ng ating bansa. Tapos dapat ay pinapaunlad natin ang ating mga napatang sa loob.